All right, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend so far. I am super happy to kick off today's Art Share stream as I immediately choke. For anybody who is new, I do an art share every single week on my Bluesky on a pin post. You can post some of your artwork with some super brief lore, and what I'll do is I will show it off to the lovely people of Twitch every single Saturday. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let me go ahead and let's hop on over here so we can go ahead and get started. Alright, got the post, and let me pop down my OBS here real quick just so I can see and get some more water. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Your chest hurts? No, that's no good. You gotta survive. You gotta live so you can create all the artwork, for an extended period of time here. Gotta live for us, buddy. I'm really sorry that your chest hurts. That's no good. Speaking of which, I got like a tickle in my throat or something, so I'm so sorry. Living is stressful. People stress me out, man. I feel that. Especially these days, like people are fucking crazy, man. So, oh my god, a 6 hour drive, Pensy. That sounds. I don't like long drives like at all. I mean, it's better now that I have like I'm married to Havoc, and we just talk about silly shit and we laugh a whole bunch and we listen to some good music. But yeah, it's everything is incredibly stressful now. But hopefully this stream today will help like put your mind at ease a little bit, take your mind off of like all the things that are going on in the world, and we can just like hang out, look at some artwork, have a good time. I try my best, to make you guys feel good about like being artists and what you do and whatnot. And that's the whole purpose of all this, is to make people happy. So I hope that works. Oh, you get car sick. Oh man. That's no good. Oh yeah, and then you recently had that accident, so that I could see the anxiety. It'll be okay, Pensy. You'll get there. You'll get there safe and sound. I'm gonna throw out a ton of like positive energy into the universe there, so you don't so you have a nice trip. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's start getting into it here. We have someone brand new right off the bat, which is awesome. We have Professor Irony. Thanks for running the share stream. Hey, you're super welcome. This was an original cyberpunk character design based on a photo from an old clothing catalog, but also taking inspiration from Hideo Kojima, game Snatcher. The text in the dialogue was in German, so I'm calling her Claudia. Ooh. Oh, wow. This is so cool already. I love this. Like, I love how this is, like, off of, like, a fashion design image, but it also is giving me, like, super heavy, like, Blade Runner vibes, and also like late 80s early 90s like anime with the you got kind of like the Andrew Dice Clay gloves going on here, if anybody is old enough to know who that guy is. Not really the best person on the planet, but definitely an interesting character. So but I really like the kind of blocks of color here. And then, of course, you've got like the cyberpunk aspect down here with like what looks like circuitry, which is super cool. And I really like the colors. I like how like you have like the cooler like reds down here, and then you have all the nice like warm like oranges and peaches and yellows, and this like rim light is like super tasty. So that's awesome. I love this, and I really like your style. It kind of reminds me of an artist that I really like, DS Luigi or Luigi. I don't know how to say his name correctly, but I think his name is like Daniel Liu or something like that. He has like a kind of like a retro series called like Space Maria, and he does like a lot of like art for like Capcom and stuff. So really cool. Ooh, and here's like the picture inspiration. Oh, I see. Definitely got the 80s early 90s like shoulder pads going on here, when well, women were going into the workplace as Super Saiyans, invading with their shoulder pads here. So I like it. That's awesome, and you can see the influence of the haircut here. Good stuff. I love it. Hell yeah. All right, so that was everything from Professor Irony. I really like your art style. I absolutely cannot wait to see more of your art. Don't be shy. If you have more images than this, you can max out the images on it. I believe 4 is the maximum it'll let you put in a post. So, hell yeah! I can't wait to see more of your art. That's awesome. I love that style. All right, next up we have K Vacuum Art, aka Michael Kavak or Kavak. They wrote, "Thank you for the art share. Hey, you're very welcome. Welcome. Oh my God, welcome. Hello, I'm a landscape and cityscape artist, and I do sci-fi, fantasy, and space stuff." All right, so we did see this one last week, but it is like very cute. Yeah, the shoulder pads are ridiculous. Hey, what's up, Nympha? How's it going? We only did one post, so you didn't miss out too much here. Yeah, it's like super cute. We got like this. I don't know if this kitty is like extra huge, and or this moon is like extra small, and it's not actually a moon. It's like a little piece of space debris here, but really neat. I really like it. I love the how directional everything is here. You have the curvature. You have this curvature here as well from this like shooting star or rocket we got going on here, and then you have the this nebula here that's like kind of like leading you out into deep space. So really cool stuff. Ooh, this is a new one. I like this. A scene of an orange-yellow desert, brown mountains in the background with snow caps, blue sky, a light cloud creating a circle like a crown, all viewed from a cliff with dead branches and trees from where the birds fly to hunt some food. Oh, now I'm seeing the crown. Oh, that's cool. I like that. And this right here is like a super neat touch here, showing that there's like a really strong wind gust at the top of the mountain peak, and it is like we got some mists from some snow being blown off the top. That's really cool. I can almost see like maybe there was like a downburst of like wind here that like caused this ring of clouds and then blew like the snow off the top. That's awesome. I like that. Also, like really nice like depth of field like blur that we have going on here with the dead trees in the foreground, nice and dark, and like a silhouette with like the birds. Really good stuff. Yeah, a lot of detail. Ooh, this is a brand new one as well. This looks like something like I'd be listening to like some like retro wave, or some sort of like maybe like liminal kind of like music or something, as far as this one goes here. A night scene with a road leading to a city, street lights and city lights made with simple shapes moon and a bit of road with a few white lines in the middle. Very simplistic scene made in a retro anime. Like, oh yeah, yeah, I see what you mean. Like, this looks like it's kind of like straight out of like Akira, like when they're you know one of the opening scenes where it's like the freaking god damn it, they're driving the bikes. Riding the bikes. Yes, very city pop. But yeah, this is awesome. I love this. That's great. And it's like I said, it's like really simplistic, but it's also like incredibly like effective at the same time. So awesome. And this is one that we've seen before as well, but we got like a big like red planet here, kind of like a rocky planet with some craters. And we've got like this like nebulous gas that's like surrounding the whole thing, and then this kind of makes it look like it's like a swamp or like a sea that some of like the planets and the moons and stuff are coming out of. So it's very very pretty, super cool stuff. All right, so that is everything from K Vacuum Art or Michael Kvac. As you can see, they are a super talented landscape artist and a background artist. I know who I'll be coming to for backgrounds at some point when I need it for a project. All right, next up we have Awo Gita. I hope I'm saying their name right. Awogita. They wrote, thank you for hosting. Greetings. I'm a fantasy illustrator. I draw fan arts and draw this in your style. My art styles are cute, cozy cartoon, finding my audience. I like magical girls, RPGs, and D&D. Now, they did post this last week, which is okay, but we are looking for, having some, like, posting different things each week. Just so it's fair to, like, everybody that, we're not taking up a space where we could have someone that could have, like, new art. I do get it that it is difficult to have newer art or at least art that you haven't posted. So you can post like work in progresses, sketches. I'd love to see your older work too. But this is still absolutely adorable, and I do really like your art style. I think it's super cute. I'm super glad and happy that you have joined our art share. So maybe next week, if you're watching this, if you could post something, a different image or two next week, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, it's super, super cute. All right, so that is everything from Owagata. They are really talented. I really like their art style. It's really, really cute, super clean, very like has a lot of graphic elements to it. Like these could be like stickers easily, or like little maybe tiny prints or something like that. So make sure you guys give them love and check it out. Ooh, we have another brand new person here, and I'm gonna butcher your name, as is my duty as a VTuber. Manories, kind of looks like what it says, or Manoris, or Manoris, something like that. Hey there, thanks for the art share. You are very welcome. I'm a Spanish digital artist, and I mainly do tabletop RPG art and some fan arts. Hell yeah, let's go. Ooh, that's really cool. Hell yeah. I could see this like being like on a card or something. You could have like what it does down here, and then you have like all of like the levels and the stats and stuff. That'd be super sick. But very dramatic effect. I really like it. Looks super cool. And I love like the texturing here. I think my only advice with this, if you end up watching this VOD, is maybe check your value levels just a little bit, because we have a little bit that's getting lost here. Because some of it's a little too dark. You need a little bit more contrast between your values. But other than that, it looks fantastic. And that, I do not mean that in a negative way at all. I think it looks really, really good. Just, throw my 2 cents in there. Ooh, I really like this one. Oh hell yeah! It's like a study of that looks like Chappelle Roan or whatever her name is, the musical artist. Oh yeah, hell yeah, Kato. Like it's like you know, like I myself, I can do a good range of styles. Like my style, like organically shifts like over time, and kind of changes with like what I'm into at the time, or maybe my style will change depending on if I'm trying to focus on maybe like gaining a new like art skill, or maybe like refining a previous skill, that kind of thing. uh, the best advice I could give is when you're doing an art piece, if you do want to do something different, something new with it, have 80% of that art piece be within your comfort zone, and leave 20%, 20 to 30% for experimentation. That way, if it's something like it doesn't turn out quite the way you want, it's only a small portion of the image, and it didn't take you like a ton of time, and it's something that you could like easily like redo, especially as a digital artist. But I really like this. Like I love being able to see like the sketch lines, the construction, like looks really really cool. I really like it. Super awesome stuff. And you did a really good job of like capturing the reference as well, and giving it like a really nice like stylization. It's got a lot of energy to like your inking and your line work, and like the reflective surfaces are like chef's kiss. You had a really good amount of like contrast between the materials here, so that worked out really really well. Hey Feisty, how's it going? Glad you can make it. Nice. Hell yeah, it's like a it's a sexy Jack in the Box guy, but in like JoJo Bizarre Adventure style, like with a hammer. Like I don't know if this is supposed to be Jack in the Box because the artist said that they were Spanish. I'm assuming Spain Spanish. So I don't know if they have those in Spain, but this is just kind of the vibes that it's giving me, and I like that they're just like on fire, and this is probably like the menacing like JoJo script. So I love it. That's awesome. I'm also like a huge fan of JoJo. So ooh, and then we have oh my god, I haven't watched Demon Slayer in a while, but I love his breathing techniques and stuff. Like when he actually like locks the fuck in, he's like so cool. Otherwise, he's like annoying as hell. So he's coming after the other after the other fast food guys. Yeah, one Jack serves you a sandwich that's too spicy. Yeah, he does like the the runway strut out there from like the crazy angle, and then hits you with the flaming hammer. Zenitsu, that's his name. Aha! I remembered. Jack in the Box will put you in the box. Yeah, 100%. This is cool. I love it. Hell yeah. All this art is awesome. Well, thank you so much, Menarus, for participating in the art share. I absolutely cannot wait to see more of your artwork here. At the end of the stream, I am going to be posting a link to the Discord so you guys can come in and hang out with us. I have a really like awesome Discord community. Everybody is super super nice. I have to admit that I do not interact enough in it. I'm always like when I'm off stream, I'm either like hanging out with Havoc, playing with my cat Vegeta, or I'm like working on something, or I'm just sleeping because I also started working out again too. So anyway, next up is Keychain. Hopefully I'm saying their name right. Hello, here are some of my revenge works. Oh. Ooh, this is cool. I like this. I love the the like phasing in the background here with the chromatic aberration. Looks really really nice. As a digital artist, Freaking chromatic aberration is like always a nice little touch, even if it's super super subtle. It's easy to like overdo it too. That's for damn sure. Ooh, nice, Pensy. I'm glad. Yeah, I need to start participating in more art shares. I actually haven't been doing as much art in general, so I need to up my game here, so I'm not just like so I can promote myself as well. Speaking in tongues, yeah. Sorry, I don't know what it is. Like I am tripping up over words today, so I apologize. Hey, what's up, Ringra? How's it going? It's been a minute. Yours is every Wednesday. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Try my best. But yeah, this is really cool. I really like the composition of this. Um, I don't think that this character is like physically this much bigger than the other character, but it would be kind of funny if they were. Because I think I've seen the yeah, definitely tag me. That would be awesome. That would help remind me. Ooh, this is cool. I like the composition for this. I love it when people can pull this off well, where it has like the vertical flipping of each of the characters, and it's like done like really well. I like it. I see there's like a lot of like posterization that they got going on here. They got some chromatic aberration. I really like the way that they add a lot of textured strokes into their art. It's really cool. I really, really like it. Yeah, especially, with this, like, this is really cool here. So, like, me personally would have done this in, like, a glowy effect, but I actually think it looks kind of cool as, like, a normal layer as well that they did it that way. I think it works really well with their art style. And then over here doing this as well, like, it gives it like a real, like, bloom or, like, dream-like effect to, like, the motion, which is super nice. I know, I know. It looks very like traditional, like with their the textures in the brushes work really well for their art style. Sorry, I have to drink a bunch of water. So there's a lot of like these stupid pear trees where I live, and they're like hyper like pollen. So that's probably what's fucking my throat up so much. But anyway, that is everything from Keychain. I really, really like your artwork. I think it's really cool. I think last time they posted that they are making like a short film, a little short animation. So I cannot wait to see that. Thank you so much for posting again in this week's art share. All right, up next we have Sarah McKenzie. Thanks for the art share. Hey, you are super welcome. I make fantasy and sci fi illustration all digital. Lots of it involves dragons, and most of it is creature concept art. This is my newest creature design. I call them desert ogres. Oh wow, these are nightmare fuel. Like the faces. Ooh, that's gonna haunt me in my sleep. I mean, they're cool. Don't get me wrong, but they're kind of like terrifying, especially with like the super like stringy like hair. Like it's crazy how she does the hair because the hair looks like real. You know what I mean? Like I could actually like see this thing like walking around with like the way it moves and everything. That's crazy. And it's like holding on to a branch. I wonder if it's got like a uses like branches to like beat things to death with. So down here it says creature concept, desert ogre, female and in male versions. Digital illustration of two ape-like humanoid monsters side by side. Their skin is mostly gray, with pink regions on their bellies and around their mouths, as well as in the inside of their ears. There is a swollen blue skin. There are swollen blue skin patches on the neck and above the eyes on the male to the right. Both sexes have bright orange irises. Yellowed fangs are visible from their mouths. The beast's limbs are long and thin, but visibly muscled. The hands have slender fingers with claws in place of nails. And the feet have only 4 main toes instead of 5. Oh, I didn't even notice that. A fifth vestigial toe is located near the ankle on the back of the foot. So these little thingies, the little super secret toes. Their long baboon-like tails are tipped with a tuft of curly fur. Similar wavy fur grows on their backs, more thickly on the male. The hair extends up their necks but tapers out on to the top of their heads, where it becomes very thin, so the creatures are nearly bald. The female on the right is overall shorter, with wider hips and a thinner neck, while the male has longer limbs and is more heavily muscled. Yeah. Yeah, these are like paralysis demons here, like to me, like sleep paralysis demons. But yeah, you can see like the male's got like this crazy thing going on. It's got like the things over the eyes and stuff. Yeah, nice stuff. Good work. All right, that is everything from Sarah McKenzie, who is a very talented creature designer. Thank you so much for submitting your artwork this week. I appreciate it. Hey, I know this person. They might be in chat right now. Next up is Lin Lin. Woo, let's go. Thanks for another art share. Hey, you are super welcome. My only art thoughts have been about making comics recently, so I'm going to share a Kaiju number 8 fan comic I made a couple years back of Kafka and Ao's arm wrestling match. Alright, so we have ready, set, go! And then he struggle. Stop acting. Oh, wait. Senpai, don't strain yourself. Stop acting like the old man's mom. You know he won't be satisfied until he's had defeat delivered straight to his face. I guess. Of course. Sorry, Aokun. It's fine, but what happened? Where's the Osan? He felt really strong for a moment. Kikoru took him away to talk. I like how it looks like he didn't even actually win even when he transformed. So that's awesome. You ask us to keep your secret just for you to blunder and out yourself, huh? Stop acting like an idiot, you stupid old man. She is Kikoru is definitely super Senundere energy too, for sure. I really like Kaiju number 8 as well. I need to read the manga because I've heard that the anime super condenses the episodes and stuff. So might be missing out on some stuff there. But this is awesome. Really good comic work. I love it. There's another person that participates in our art share that also does Kaiju number 8 they do a fanfic. So but yeah, that was everything from Lin Lin. Make sure you check out their comics. Good stuff. They also have a comic, I believe a webcomic, linked on their page. Yep, you got all their comics on here, so make sure you guys go and check them out. They also have commissions open as well. Ooh, we got another new person here. We have Reggie Marie Neon. Thanks for the art share. I'm Neon. I mainly draw OCs and have a huge favoring of cute fellas and goth girlies. But once in a blue moon, I'll do fan art. I don't know why I can't talk today, guys. Here we go. I'm just tripping up all over the place. All right, so first up here we have Sandra in a cute pose with her arms behind her back and smiling. She's wearing a black cropped hoodie, pink plaid skirt, and various pink and black accessories, earrings, collar, belt, and platform shoes. Aw, this is so cute. I love this. I love the like the covered eyes trope. Like that makes them like adorable as well. Kind of also goes along with like the the whole like gothic aesthetic is kind of like, hey, don't look at me kind of thing. I too was like kind of gothy at one point, and I definitely dated plenty of goth girls, so I'm not biased whatsoever. But it also, like Pensy was saying, yeah, I love like elves too, so that's super cool. We got like all the different piercings, these little cute like skull bows. Got a bat going on here, nice. And next up, we have Neon posed, kneeling with one hand between her legs and another up to her chest to show off the baggy sleeves of her sweater. She's also wearing black leather shorts and rolled down purple striped socks. Ooh, I like the hair on this one a lot. This is really cute, and this pose is like super cute too. We got some dumpy thick thighs going on here, so we're just gonna go ahead and throw that in the chat. Hell yeah, I like it. I'm here for it. They also have elf ears, which is like super super cute, and I like this stylization. I like how it's like kind of like a it's almost like retro anime a bit, but the noses are a little more pronounced. They're a little more rounded off, which is super adorable. I knew it was coming. And then we have Fantasy AU, Mage Neon, and Demon Rodney. Rodney is floating upside down in front of Neon with a smug grin, while she looks flustered and irritated. Nice. I like it. I like how they have them in like, like different kind of like settings. This time as a mage. Got like some cool, like a cool like wood staff here, and there's like almost like cracks in their little like magic ball. And then she's got like mostly like cool colors where he has like a lot of like red, maybe to highlight the difference in like their personalities and stuff. So I like that. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, let me get some water. Oh, by the way, can you guys see down at the bottom under chat, there should be a place that you can do like sound effects and stuff now. Like, there is a way to set it up that you guys could use your channel points for it, but I would have to like pay for like the pro version to have more than like five. So what I did is they should all be free. So if you want to use them for like reactions and stuff, so there's like SpongeBob noises, like the 3 hours later, and that kind of thing, like a soundboard basically. So I don't know if that's working or not. I was just kind of curious if you guys could see it. Ooh, and then we have a fan art of Glitch Trap from Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. His eyes are glowing green and he's holding a finger up to his mask mouth, hushing the viewer. Is there something inside the mouth? Ooh, spoopy. I like it. Hell yeah. That's really cool. And then I love like the kind of like the glitching and the texturing like around them. You know, definitely making it more scary. I have never played a Five Nights at Freddy's game. I feel like I would be terrible at it, but maybe one of these days I'll pick up one of them and I'll play them on stream if you guys are interested in watching that. My little PC that could should be able to at least handle those games. So, but yeah, awesome work from Reggie Marie, aka Neon here. So, hey, what's up, Kacho? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good weekend so far. But I really like your style. Thank you so much for joining our art share. Cannot wait to see more from you in the future. Pensy trusts everybody. Pensy has the hugs for everyone. Pensy is the answer to world peace. Bring in all the monsters and people and furries and fairies and everything all together in one big gigantic hug. So, all right. Next up, we have Tanako or Tanako. My version of Marvel Rivals Werewolf by Night. Blue ringed redesigned for the Unmasked, Markiplier red carpet meme, and my Spider Verse OC alts for more info. So this one says, I would love to see my design in the game, and I would love to be the voice actor of this character. I hate bots in Marvel Rivals though. It kills the fun and costs me my ranks. Yeah, so I'm not super good at Marvel like Rivals. Like it is kind of fun. Like I've played it every now and then, but it's not fun when they nerf the hell out of like the characters that I like. Like I used to like when I briefly played it, I played with like Thor because like he was like a super bully tank, and I like to play like really like aggressively and like offensively with like tank like characters. And they nerfed him into the ground, so now it kind of sucks. And I'm like, man. But I love the art style for like Marvel Rivals. I think it's super super cute, like super cool, like really awesome like translations into that style. So yeah, this is really cool. I've never actually read like the Marvel's Werewolf by Night. I did watch the show and it was all right. It wasn't too bad. So Emperor Cusco must. Hell yeah, that's actually like my favorite Disney movie is The Emperor's New Groove. It's just so good. Yeah, it looks cool. I like it. They did a really good job with the design. Ooh, this is nightmare fuel. I like this. I decided to go with a more Lovecraft and more scarier look to it. I hope it doesn't look terrible. No, it looks like so saying that you hope it doesn't look terrible, it looks like terrible in a way that it's like a terribly horrific creature. Like it's not terrible how you drew it. It's just like it's got like a crazy like Cenobite kind of face going on here, and you got all sorts of like eyes popping off of it, and it's got like a yeah, this thing is crazy. I like it. This is awesome. I like the gills too, and the little like veins and stuff through it. That's awesome. Yes, I love Mark. Mark is great. What's funny about this meme is that Mark gets to voice this character, and I would love him too. I really hope he wants to do it. Hell yeah, I guess I can see Mark voicing it. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. So another like a secondary purpose for like my you know getting together with artists and doing like all these art streams and these art shares is I am trying to kind of build a team of artists because Havoc and I's goal is to start a media company when we get rich and famous because we're totally going to be rich and famous and be like roll around in money like some bad cats in like I don't know some catnip. But anyway, the idea is to take that money and hire artists and pay them very, very well and treat them super, super well and make like awesome like animations, video games, all that kind of good stuff. So, the more we grow, the better, the closer we are to that goal. And by doing this, we're collecting all different types of artists to hire, and of course, be friends with as well. So yes, I'm trying to build the empire. That's for damn sure. But like I said, the all the money's gonna go to making things, making the world a better place, making a nice environment where artists are respected and paid fairly for all the work they do and given all the credit and all that good stuff. So, all right, this one's cool. This is my old project. I wanted to go with a whole horror theme, symbiotic Spider-Man from my other project, pretty much like Brightburn, but Spider-Man. At the moment, it's on hold for now. Ooh, that's a cool idea. Like a like almost like an anti Spider-Man, one that's like murder Spider-Man. Oh yeah, I didn't even realize. That's funny. Oh yeah, 100%. Like, like we were gonna our idea is to like start kind of small and have like a studio in like Japan, and if people need to be flown out, we would do that too, and we would have the top part of the building be the studio, and then underneath we would have like a little cafe with like a bunch of like cute Japanese people that we would hire like locals to like run the cafe to not only give us like a little bit more income and whatnot, but to be able like you guys could go down and like eat and have a good time, that kind of thing. So you have been here since day one, Pensy. You're awesome. I really, really appreciate that you like show up on the regular, and I enjoy talking to you. Like you're a good friend. So yes, the Creator Cafe. Yep, 100%. And I was thinking about having it so like having like the little either like the little robot waiter things too. So like if VTubers wanted to like pop in and like hang out with people, they would have like a little robot screen to like, go around and get to interact with people. Like people like Mouse where she can't really like, leave her room, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's my grand plan, my grand scheme here. So, but yeah, this is a really cool design. I like this. I love like the blood tips and then like the like horrified faces like in the in the claw things. They're super cool. Anyway, that is everything from Tanako here. They have their Dark Hero universe that's their dream. So that could be one of the projects that we can get funding together and we can get people together to work on and make it happen. So oh yeah, speaking of Pensies, we got Pensy up next. Hell yeah. Applause, applause. Here's my newest pick of my girl Lucia in an outfit made by, let's see, Alfria. I think that's their name. Are they an artist too? If they are an artist too, I need to follow them. So, hope you like it. I think she came out adorable. Oh, this is so cute. I like it. Hell yeah. It's like a cow outfit, right? Because it's got like the bell and it's got the, the kind of the cow spots. I like that they've got like a little bit of like a sweat drop here. Like they're almost like a little bit embarrassed to be in it, but they're also like happy. That's so cute. And then the next one here is the actual outfit they use for the reference here. Hell yeah. Oh, hold on. Hold on. There we go. Nice. I like it. I also drew this character as a non-safe for work drawing which I cannot show on stream, but if you guys ask Pensy in the Discord or ask me in the Discord, uh, it's actually posted in the Discord under the Not Safe for Work tab. So if you guys want to see it, it's in there. Anyway, that is everything from Pensy. Pensy has digivolved now into a digital artist as well, but is still amazing at traditional art, and they're an amazing person. So make sure that you follow them and be friends with them, and everybody will have a great time. All right, next up we have thanks, Pensy. Next up we have Ellie Lai. They wrote, "Hi, I draw a bit with long breaks, but I seem to be addicted to art shares because they help boost my self-esteem." They should boost your self-esteem. You're a really good artist. Like, definitely do not be afraid to put your art out there. If anybody is saying anything bad about your artwork, then the block button exists and you should use it. If nobody's giving at least like constructive criticism where it's like, they tell you what you did right and then maybe like some ideas where you can improve. But if they're just insulting you, just block them. They're not worth your time or energy or effort. Hell yeah. Turn it up to 11. Guitar solo. But yeah, I love this. This is like really cool. I love like the red line. Like it's mostly like monochromatic except for like the red, which is really cool. I really like all the texturing that we have going on here, especially in the background. This texturing is like really, really nice. And then there's actually like a pattern on the cloak slash dress down here. There's like a whole lot of pattern work going on, which is really cool because it's like really good contrast between like the super pale skin versus, which is like, doesn't have a lot of detail, versus like the contrast of the detail around the outside is awesome. Yeah, it's got like the almost like the World of Warcraft, like not quite as long as World of Warcraft, but getting there. Let's go to the next one. Ooh, this one is cool. This like smegsy looking Chad elf here with like the chiseled jaw. Ooh, I love like the directional like strokes in the background. It's really, really cool. It's got kind of like, the directions like Picasso's like Starry Night kind of thing, but not like impressionistic, just like this like almost like energy flow that's kind of going on in the background. Also, I'm a sucker for putting glow on absolutely anything. So you got me there. This is 100% like, up my alley here. I like it. I think the monochromatic works really well with like the one color for like the highlight kind of effect. I think that works really well for your artwork. Ooh, this one's really cool. Damn, I like this one. That's super awesome. We've got like kind of like a vampire mage like kind of thing going on here. They got this like really cool like spiky halo going on, and the lighting is like super super nice. We got like this as a source here, and it's reflected over here. Looks really really good. The composition is like on point too. Ooh, this one is gorgeous. I like this one. Damn. Really really good job like on the values on this one too. Like, even in like the shadowed area, that you can still see like the lighter values of like the details, and none of it is like getting like lost in the background here. My only suggestion I would say maybe would be like a little bit of like an airbrush, probably around the outside in the back, just to lighten it up and separate it. But the rest of the values look fucking fantastic. It looks really really good. Super smegsy. I love it. All right, so that is everything from Eli. Make sure you guys give them lots of encouragement. The first time they posted, they were really like unsure about themselves and posting their artwork. So I'm really glad that these art chairs are helping, that it's encouraging them to show the world their amazing art, and I cannot wait to see more from you next week. Hey, it's Ringra. Are you still here with us? Cause it's your turn. They wrote, thanks for the art share. Hell yeah, there you are. This time I'll be showing some art that is my Cartoon Network theme. Three of them are Cartoon Network themed, and the last one is my own cartoon character, as you know. The Cartoon Network drawings are inspired by the city era of Cartoon Network, if you remember that block. Hell yeah. So we got like this is like a Ben 10 thing going on here. We got Scooby Doo. We got Courage. I love Courage. I don't know who this dog is. This is Dino from Flintstones. And then we have Jake the dog. And I don't know this character here. But let's read the alt here. A Cartoon Network city inspired drawing. Ben as Wildmutt. Gwen and this must be Gwen. And various dog characters from different Cartoon Network shows. Gwen is messing around with her powers again, though quite frankly, Ben isn't much better either. Titled Amorous Infecta Dweeb. Man, I haven't heard the word dweeb in a while. Holy crap. That's awesome. I love it. It looks like they're having a great time. I'm surprised Jake isn't being all like twisty around them too if they're showing off powers here. But I love Courage. Courage was so good. It's my favorite. Out of all these doggos, I would say Courage and Jake are my favorite out of all the doggos in this one. Let's go to the next one here. Oh, it's a big croissant. Cartoon Network City inspired drawing featuring a Scooby-Doo. That croissant looks so good you could eat it. Titled Anyone Want a Croissant? Hell yeah. I was way too baby to watch Courage. Oh yeah. I mean, I could see that like if you were like super young or if it was before your time. Young children would not enjoy Courage too much because it's kind of spoopy. It's a little scary at times. I love the one where there's like the spider is coming at him, and it's like all super dramatic and like fast, and it makes it look like the spider is huge. And then it pans to like a side shot, and he runs away, and then it's just this little tiny spider. It's so funny. Hell yeah. Really well done, though. I really like this. Hell yeah. I watched Power Rangers too. I used to go out in the front yard with my friends and we would beat the shit out of each other and play Power Rangers and like Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. So we were all like heavily into like dinosaurs and martial arts. So it was like the perfect combination for us. And Giant Mecha, of course. So. You are not wrong. Spiders are dangerous. So I've been bitten by both a black widow and a brown recluse. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before. The brown recluse ate a giant necrotic hole in right under my right kneecap. So I have a little like divot in my leg from where that healed. So I'm not a fan of spiders. They drew first blood. So I'm not a fan of them. And the Black Widow hurt like hell too. Oh, hell yeah. We got Samurai Jack next here. Cartoon Network City inspired drawing featuring Samurai Jack and Mao Mao. They are greeting each other by bowing in respect. Titled The Yang and the Yin. I also love Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack was so good. I love the one with the Scotsman. It's so good. It's so stupid. Yeah, the art direction was nuts. It was really really well done. It had a very very like distinct style to it. I think if it wasn't styled like that, it wouldn't have done quite as well. Oh, we got one more here. And then this one is a painting featuring Niji flexing herself all sweet and sexy. Hell yeah, showing off them wing guns. This was made for International Women's Day. Titled Strong and Wild as a Rose. Hell yeah, that's awesome. That's perfect. Samurai Jack was one of the last ones to be traditionally animated. Oh. I didn't know it was traditionally animated. It looks so good still. Like at first I was very like anti-digital when it first came out, like especially when anime started being digital because it was really bad when it first started. Like everything was like looked really stiff and static and like just didn't feel like it like vibe together, like the characters in the backgrounds and with the way it moved, like it was not great for like a while. So hell yeah, I like this character too. This little OC character you've created here is awesome with like the two extra like eyes. uh like you said, a very empowering piece, like they're flexing out in nature, like yeah, let's get it, we can do it. Hell yeah. All right, so that is everything from Ringra 15. As you can see, they are super good at portraying like our childhood nostalgia. Your paintings are beautiful. I cannot wait to see more of them next week. Super awesome stuff. All right, next up we have Gilhem Bedos art, or it might be Gihem. I'm not quite sure, where they're from. So if I'm saying your name wrong, I do apologize. I'm Gilhem, graphic designer and illustrator. Have some illustrations for my card game Star Troopers Crash Test, available from Wargame Vault and the Game Crafter. Free print and play on Board Game Geek. Oh, hell yeah. Ooh, nice. Yeah, this gives me like old school like anime CGI is almost always bad with a few exceptions, like Girls Band Cry. Oh, I'm a huge fan of Studio Orange. Uh, that's like I would say that's my number one like fully like 3D like anime is that studio. Like they do a really really good job of making like translating 2D to 3D and whatnot. They do like the new Trigon. They did what Land of the Lustrous. They do Beastars. Really good stuff. They're actually like, aside from like Studio Trigger or like say Mappa, I would definitely like approach them to adapt my webtoon into their style because it works out so well. But this artwork here is giving me like 90s like sci-fi game like vibes here. Had that they had those like point and click games where you like had to like go into like various rooms and hallways and you would like click on something and it would zoom in to like that area, and then you would have things you would like interact with, like games like Myst and things like that. By the way, Aniki isn't old, so I'm aging myself right now, but that's kind of the vibe that I get from this artwork. It looks really cool. And this is very like Alien Isolation, like this hallway would be sus as all hell. Have like the xenomorph or the xenomorph like on the other side of this doorway here, or if there were like any like vents up here. Pensy watched me play Isolation. I still have the VODs up on my YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel, by the way. If you guys want to go back and watch my older streams, hopefully some of them are still good. So if you want to check them out, that would help me out under the same name. So, but yeah, that's really cool. Ooh, and they got like a cool like arc like fusion like kind of reactor thing going on here with what are these called? Shit. This is like a plasma transfer that's going on here. That's really cool. I love the lighting. How like you have this very bright source here, and then like kind of like a moody like environment going on, like in the background here. That's super cool. And then this one we saw I think like last week, but this one for some reason gives me I know it doesn't have like the greens, but it kind of reminds me of like a Mako reactor in like Final Fantasy 7. But it also gives me with like this like yellowish lighting, kind of like a near automata kind of like lighting scheme. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. But yeah, really cool stuff. Hell yeah. And I think he's got some other stuff down here. Oh yeah, and we saw these before, but they were really cool. We got like this like cool like abstract one going on here with this guy worshiping the moon. Some faces. We got this like crazy like cyclopeal like laser beam mecha ogre we got going on here. It's just awesome. I love like the ring energy, like kind of like the Evangelion kind of like laser beams, or like the Shin Gojira. And we got a cool rusty ship on abandoned on a shore. And that is everything. So that's everything from Gilhem Bedos art. As you can see, that they're super, super talented artists there. I definitely know who I'll go to for like 3D like environments or 3D work. Definitely would be a nice member of the team here. Looks like they're already working with some studios, so that's hella awesome from them. I am so happy that you're finding work, that you're finding success, and I can't wait to see more of your artwork next week. Ooh, we got another new person here. Let me get some water before we begin. We have Dextive Studios, and they also have commissions open. Hi, I'm Echo Dextive. I'm normally a cartoonist slash illustrator. My pinned post has what I usually do, working on a comic. But pixel art is something I've been getting into. I practiced it yesterday and watched the POTC trilogy. I'm not sure what that is recently, so my pieces are giving a yarg. Ooh, we got a coin, a golden doubloon sparkling. Hell yeah. Something is like I really like pixel art, especially like really well done pixel art. This looks really nice. And then we have a blue potion bottle. So this is giving me hella like Castlevania vibes here, like OG Castlevania. Looks really, really nice. And then we got the cute little skull. I like that. I think this is a really nice touch here too. Like, instead of having this like all black, you've got some of like these gray blocks here in order to like inform the idea that there's like a nose bridge, and that there's like the ocular like socket area. So, oh, Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, I'm dumb. My bad. And then we have a jar of dirt. It's got some shading on it, so it's got like the darker side on this side. It's got some specular highlights, looking really good. As you can see, these are meant to be viewed a little bit smaller, so they look really, really nice. I think you're doing an absolute fantastic job I don't have the patience for pixel art, but it is something I would love to try at some point. I think you're doing a fantastic job. Welcome to our art stream. Your art is awesome. I cannot wait to see more of it. Let's see how many more we got left here. Not too many more. We're almost done here. So next up we have SJM. SJM wrote, "Hi Aniki. I hope I'm not late." Nope, not at all. I haven't been doing much art. Instead, played the Trine game series. I did get bookmark covers from my bookmarks from my nephew, art of a bow, a Victorian themed dress, and another dress. Ooh, so you put them all. Okay, I see, I see. So we've seen them post these like over time here. So it was like it's really cool to see them like actually being put to use in a like a bookmark format. That's really cool. I love this. That is awesome. You can see like how much work SJM puts out making like their OCs. A lot of their OCs, have information about like their age, their name, like the things they like. Adorable stuff. I love it. Go to the next one, and then we got this cool like bow design here. Looks like it's got like some vine work kind of like going on with it. And then the arrow type that they would use down here. And then we have the Victorian style dress with the big old bodice, which Havoc has officially named it as the ass basket, because it's a big bump basket for your cheeks. So I like died laughing because she didn't know the name for it, so she just called it an ass basket. And then I looked up the name, and she's like, "No, it's an ass basket." It's so good. No, my wife and I aren't silly and stupid. I don't know what you're talking about. Ooh, this is a really pretty dress. I don't think I've seen this one yet. Either that, or I think they had this before, but I think they added this like really nice like these stars and these like blue flowers onto it and whatnot. We stand ass baskets. Hell yeah. That needs to be the official term for it. Instead of bustling about, it's ass basketing about. But yeah, SJM does a lot of like fashion design. They do a lot of like OC design. Occasionally they'll do like landscapes and stuff. So I have a really good like range, a lot of variety of artwork. Thank you so much for participating in the art share. I love seeing your artwork every single week. All right, we have up next. We have literally hell. Hiya! Thanks for the art thread and supporting us creators. Hey, no, you're very very welcome. I'm Rob, and I've created my own animated series called Literally Hell. Enjoy. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna turn off my music, and we will do like we did last week, where we picked an episode. Because we've seen some of these, so let's do episode 3. And this will give my voice a break. By the way, if you guys also have like animations or videos or anything you've done, as long as they're not like any longer than, don't post anything that's like, maybe 15 minutes or longer, because that would take too long. I turn on my headphones so I can hear. It could be in Spanish, Kacha. That's fine. That's okay, Pensy. No worries. Go do what you gotta do. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a good weekend and your trip is gonna go super, super well and nothing bad's gonna happen and you're not gonna get sick. So have a great time. Nice. You know, they never apologized to the guy for pissing on his grave, but oh well. Alright, let me turn my music back on. And turn my headphones down so I can hear. Alright, so that was everything from Literally Hell. They do this cartoon. Sorry, I gotta get back into it now that I had a little break here. I'm like super sleepy again. They do this awesome cartoon where these demons are in hell and they go out and they do fun little jobs with like voice acting and stuff. So great stuff. Oh shit, we got Nympho up next. I might know this person. They might be in chat. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah. Nympho wrote, Happy Art Chair Day. Woo, let's go. 1 is the new cover for my current arc of my comic. 2 is a VJN request of Gymnastics Queen, Viola from webcomic White Meadow. 3 is my Ojo-sama OC, still don't got a name for her, bragging about her richness. 4 is a meme when I realized there are so many characters lined up in my comic. Hell yeah. Ooh, I like it. Yeah, I'd be making this face too if Inuyasama was like this close to my face here. So, you know, we both be making the same face here. So, God King Zaibatsu, the kiss that ruined everything. Arc. And then we got the Gymnastics Queen here. Nice posing. That's definitely like really difficult to do. Like I'm sure it took like several references to get this right here, but it looks awesome. And I love how you do like the super like crazy like graphic design kind of like graffiti kind of style in the back of your artwork. It's so cool. And then this is the image that when you posted it on Bluesky, I was like, I can hear this image. I can hear the whoa. Buying singles is way too easy for moi, so I shall draft only from a booster box as they handicap. And then she's got Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So good. I love it. It makes me so happy. Have you seen Plastic Nason? If you guys haven't seen that anime, it's like a series of like really short like episodes of like they're supposed to be in like a little plastic model like club, but it has like nothing to do with that, so it's like just really funny. It's like super meme worthy. So yeah, this reminds me of the the fat foreigner chick where she keeps saying that she's like too beautiful and all that kind of thing. It's so funny. And then the final one, we're gonna have to kill this guy, Neva. Damn. Got too many characters, have to kill them off, huh? Oh no, not personal attacks. You know, I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh before, and like I think the only cards I ever had is I had some like old school like Dragon Ball Z cards, but they were like I got them just because like I wanted the artwork. Because back in the day before the internet was really a thing, you couldn't really get a hold of like anime stuff like really easily. So I found those cards one day and I can't remember where, and I was like, oh my god, I need these. And then they got stolen, so I was like, oh great. But anyway, Nefa is super talented. They are also a VTuber as well, so make sure that you follow them on Twitch so you can watch them bring their webtoon here, God King Zaibatsu, to life. God King Zaibatsu is excellent, so make sure you guys go and check that out. Make sure you subscribe to their webtoon, watch all the chapters, leave nice comments. And as you can see, Nefa is super cool as they are in chat. Oh my god, I went back way too far. Hold on. No, I fucked it up. What have I done? Why am I like this? Now everything's out of order. Alright, we got three more here. And I actually really need to use the restroom, so I will be back in just a moment, guys. Do apologize for the delay. Try to make this as quick as possible. Okay, I'm back. I am so sorry about that, guys. Alrighty, so up next here we have Rainbow Dog, aka Carla K, also a fellow VTuber and also an animator. Make sure you guys check her out on Twitch, give her a follow, and watch her YouTube videos. Carla Road been working on lots of stuff. I've been painting again, and I had a raffle day on stream the other day. Ooh, nice. Second painting is a work in progress, but I'm really happy with it. So here is the first painting, which is absolutely adorable. It is of her VTuber model and her persona here, like in some like wildlife in the grass with like some bushes and a super happy, adorable face with some nice light like filtering through. Really good stuff. I like it. That's like so cute. I love how like her little like puppy ears are like hearts. It's adorable. And next up, we got this wolf or doggo here that looks like they maybe just did something bad or trying to hide behind a tree but not doing it very well. And they're looking at you like suspiciously, or maybe they notice you and they're like, "Oh man, that'd be really cool if this person pet me here." I like all like the sticks in like their hair and like the leaves and whatnot in their fur, and the texturing on the fur is like done really really well. It's really really nice. I like it. Then we got this like really cool like kind of like maybe like they have like black hole skills, or they have kind of like in Naruto where they have like the oh, what's it called? It's one of the like Uchiha skills or whatever, where they have like the eyeball that can like suck things into it and stuff. So Toby or whatever, or spoilers Obito or whatever Uchiha. So kind of reminds me of that, like a little bit sketchy there, looking awesome. Oh, and then we have like this super adorable like angel like elf thing. I really like the scroll here on the chest, and then the musical notes on the sleeves. This would be really cool as like a sticker or something along those lines, or maybe like a coaster or something like that. Be really really neat, or some merch. So something to consider. All right, like I said, that is everything from Carla. Carla is super cool. She's really, really nice. Make sure if you guys catch her live to pop into her streams and have a good time, because she has really fun streams as well. Ooh, yeah, we got another brand new person here. We have Ty. Thank you for hosting this art share. You are super welcome. My name is Ty, and I'm a character prop and BG designer. Actually, I think we saw some of this last week, but they're still pretty new, with a focus on cozy fantasy artwork. Let's go ahead and check this out. We've got the Traveling Ray. This is like a merchant character they have that travels around in this little like cool carriage, and they sell like various like items, and Ty designs them all. This is a digital art illustration of my Everhaven OC Ty beside a cooking kit that is sold in their shop. The kit includes a pot with spices, a knife, a ladle, a cutting board, thermoses, a tea warmer, and magic paper that allows you to make a fire. So this is really cool. This is something that I need to work on myself. Like I've never really done this before, where you make like themed items based around like not only like the world but the characters within them. It's like super super cute, and like I know this is like fantasy based, but for some reason like I guess the way the hat is kind of reminds me of like medieval like either Italian or like Spanish kind of style like outfits. They had kind of like this like floof and this hat kind of thing going on. If I'm correct, I could be wrong. But this is super adorable. The thermos is really really cute. I love the tea warmer. Oh, and it's got like a spot for like the actual teacup on top. That's so cute. Man, this is awesome. I could definitely see this in like a little like RPG game or something. It'll be super adorable. And then this one is a digital art illustration of my Everhaven OC tie based on a collection of six books sold in their shop. These books include from left to right a haunted book, the Fire Slayer's Cookbook, History of Puran a Theater, World History Book, Magic History Book, and a book for the plants and herbs and other gardening tips. This is super cool. This is definitely like the book that you find a cabin in the woods with your friends, and there's a big piece of paper next to it with scribbles to say "Do not read from the book." It is 100% this one. This is so cute though. I really like these. Like, really, really well done. Really well designed. I love like the little diamonds or the little stars on the inside on the pages in this one. And then this one, the herbalist one, has like a wood grain texture to it. And then there's like little flowers. And then I love like the curtain on the front of this book because it's a theater book. It's really awesome. And then this one is a digital art illustration of my Everhaven OC tie besides cookies, seed packs, desserts, and food rations. We have hero cookies, seed packets, mushroom muffin, star bread, spooky apple, raka bun, and bat piglet pastry. The ration pack contains chocolate, dried fruits, nuts, and ham, among other things. Ooh, that sounds good. Hell yeah. Man, these are so good. Oh, this star bread looks crazy. It's got like a starfish, like, kind of like wrapped around it. That's really neat. Mushroom muffin, spooky apple. Man, these are so cute. I love these. Man, it's so good. I love it. And then the last one here, we have digital art illustration of my Everhaven AOC tie beside a collection of potions. The potions read Potion of Warmth, Jam for Hunger, Oxstrider Potion, Potion of Fertile Soil, Potion of Seed Growth, and Strawberry Luck Potion. Oh my god, I need a drink. Sorry. Excuse me, guys. Man, these are so cute. I love all of these designs. Oh, and then this one here has a little spoon that comes in the top, so you can like spread it or like dole it out. And then, oh, this one's awesome. And it's also got like a shovel on the top. Man, these are so cool. I love these. Alright, so that was everything from Ty. As you can see, Ty is a very talented artist, especially when it comes to designing characters and the props that go along with them. Again, another massively like valuable member of any team here, so I cannot wait to work with you in the future, and I cannot wait to see more of your artwork next week. Oh, we got adult content on this one. Huh. Alright, next up we have Abby M. Craft. They wrote, "Hi, thanks for hosting these." Hey, you're super welcome, Abby. I'm Abby M. Craft, and I am a traditional human artist who makes cute and cozy art. Here are some art that I have made recently. So, a drawn photo of Miss Piggy from the Muppets in a vintage cheerleader outfit. She is an anthropomorphic pig with her blonde hair tied in two ponytails with a purple bow securing each one. She is wearing a lavender colored turtleneck with a white calligraphy style P with a purple outline in the middle of the turtleneck. A white pleated skirt with purple accents in the pleats and trim white knee high socks and light purple sneakers. She is holding two lilac cheerleading pom-poms in each hand. The background is a light lavender color with a silver hollow star in each corner. Oh, super cute. I haven't seen any sort of like Muppets art in a long time, so it's really nice to see these. I used to love like Jim Henson stuff. Back in the day when I was like a kid, I would always watch like VHSs and whatnot about how they created the puppets and like all sorts of stuff. So that was it's a really good memory from my childhood. So oh, this is so cute. A drawing of a good luck bear, Care Bear. Oh man, this person must be around my age too. Plush. Oh my god, from the Care Bears and the Squishmallow crossover. He is a green round bear with dark green shamrocks on his cheeks and one on his white belly. He has a dark green heart-shaped nose on his white snout. He also has a tuft of green fur on the top of his head. The background is light green with a dark green shamrock on opposite diagonal corners. There's also a pale green scallop border around the drawing. This is so cute. I love this. He's like a little like it almost looks like a little like teardrop, like a candy kind of shape here. Like it'd be some sort of like flavor that's like associated with maybe like St. Patrick's Day, not necessarily like alcohol based, but it could be alcohol based if you wanted to. That's adorable. I love it. Next up, we have a drawn photo of Barbie, a blonde, fair-skinned girl with her hair in a high ponytail. She is wearing a silver heart locket, a short, sparkly dress inspired from Barbie's fashion fairy tale, with light pink sleeveless low-waisted bodice with dark pink straps and trim on the sweetheart neckline with an angled silver bow with a dark pink center with a triple ruffle shirt with dark pink on top. Woo! Making me do some work here. A lilac color on the middle and right lavender color on the bottom. Dark pink double strap heels. The background is light pink with two dark pink sparkling gemstone hearts in opposite diagonal corners. Taking breath. Again, really, really cute here. I like the layered dress with the different colors. That's really, really adorable. Got a nice pose going on here, and then it's like kind of similar to like a the hearts with the way you would have like a playing card or something like that. I think Abby M. Craft's art would be really nice, like I said, as pillows. I think that would be really cool. Well, anyway, that is everything from Abby M. Craft here, making absolutely adorable artwork. Thank you so much for participating in our art share. I can't wait to see what you bring next week. Alright, let's see if we can get this to work here. Let me click on this real quick. Label was applied by the author. Explicit sexual images. I don't know if I can open this. I don't think it'll let me open it. Nope. Crawls in from the abyss, dropping art below. Thanks for the art share, Aniki. Most of February and March was a complete mood, so I bring the mood MS Paint art. Trigger warning. I think you need to change your settings. Yeah, that is... I'm an adult. I should be able to see these. Hold on. I'm going to put you guys in the lobby real quick while I try to fix this. Just in case. content and media. Here we go. Oops. I am super new to Bluesky as well, so I'm trying to figure out. I think I need to change settings. External media. No, that's not it. Interests. Moderation, maybe? Interaction settings. Muted works and tags. That's to add the muted. Moderation lists. Oh, here we go. Warn. Okay, so let's go back. Here we go. Hooray, we got it. Alright, let's see. A redraw of a scene from My Little Pony's episode Tanks for the Memories. It features Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash, and her pet tortoise, Tank. Rainbow is bedrotting in a robe and Tank slippers while walling in grief, while Tank is wearing a dashy slippers and a robe. You know, I completely saw this different here. At first, I thought this was like in a hospital room, and then these were like a whole bunch of babies. So, oh, still starting soon. Oh, crap. Okay, sorry. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so at the first glance of this, I thought that this was like a pregnancy woe thing, because I had to go and like enable all those things, and I was 100% wrong. Like, I thought, like, when this wasn't blown up, it looked like she was crying with like a whole bunch of like babies. And I was like, oh my. But yeah, really super well done. So if you guys don't know, Mana Mineko Art does all of their art in MS Paint, which is absolutely insane. So it's like really, really high quality artwork, and I'm like super, super impressed with it. And then next up here, we have a redraw of a scene from Hazbin Hotel episode featuring Charlie Morningstar from Hazbin Hotel. She is curled up in her bed under the covers and crying. Aw, poor Charlie. I need to catch up on season 2. I haven't watched season 2 yet of Hazbin Hotel, but I definitely enjoy it. I think I like Hell of a Boss a little bit better, but I do like both of them. I think they're both pretty cool. And this one, oh, here we go. This must have been the warning. A redraw of a scene from an episode of Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei featuring Pink Supervisor, Nozomu Itoshiki, and Chie Arai. Nozumu is in the process of trying to unalive himself, while Chie watches from a distance. That's pretty bleak. I hope nobody is upset over this. You know, like, I don't think the intention was to shock. I think they were just saying that they had a rough week, and this was kind of like something they wanted to draw to kind of like visualize that. Alright, a screenshot redraw from the newest anime series I got into, Ikoku Niki, featuring Mario Kodai. a 35-year-old novelist who dislikes social contact. Here she is expressing her inner feelings towards the orphan niece that she takes into her care. I need to protect my peace and quiet sometimes. Nice. It's still nuts that this is all done in like MS Paint. Like I haven't opened MS Paint in, man, so many years, so I am always like super impressed. All right, so that is absolutely everything here from Mana Mineko Art. They have Ko-Fi commissions open if you want to get some awesome MS Paint art from them. I am going to give this one more reload here just to make sure that we did not miss anyone. I'm going to give it a quick scroll. Alright, hell yeah, that was everybody. I personally don't have anything new to show, otherwise I would show something today. I feel like I've shown a bunch of my older stuff, so I think we'll just do a wrap up here. So I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in my art share stream. It's my favorite stream. No, it's okay. No worries. This is my favorite stream of the week. I absolutely love seeing you guys' artwork. I love seeing your progress. I love watching your dreams come into fruition as you guys create. The world needs to appreciate artists, and I am here for that mission. If you guys like the kind of content I do, please follow me to see when I go live. Consider subscribing. That would help me out tremendously. Just some other plugs here. Of course, I do have a YouTube channel under the same name where I post all of my previous VODs. And I also have a VGen account, which I'm running a 50% off sale on my commission art. All my services, I really would like to get verified. So if you guys see something on there that piques your interest, definitely give me a shot. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will be back on Monday. Have a great day. I'll